Oh, hi. Hello. Thank you for tuning in. It's another installment in our movie club series. This week we are talking about The Man from Earth, directed by Richard Schenkman. As you can obviously see in the video there, we have TJ, J-Spot Jack Cheese, and Travis, the Super General, on call. So movie discussion will probably start in about 30 to 45 minutes, but we're just gonna kind of hang out for a little bit and talk about some media stuff. So if you're into that kind of thing,
all right, I'm gonna mute Nick because I was I was playing his stream on my stream and they started talking. So I'm just gonna wait until he's back in undeafened and stuff, and then we're gonna start the thing proper. There he is. Okay.
Oh, I literally just said undeafen.
Oh, nice. I was playing your stream through my just the audio, so it was playing when I was when my countdown was still going. So.
Oh, great.
So yeah, another Friday Night Movie Club, everyone. We're here with I got our names up. It's all fancy. I got the right movie poster, the right movie title up, and I've got all of our names. I'm J-Spot Jack Cheese, and with me...
hi, I am Dr._Funk, PhD. I do not have a PhD. Oh, that looks so good on your stream. I just pulled it up.
Yeah.
Oh, I need to get that.
And then also... the dogs.
Right on cue.
Yep. My name is Air Traffic Controller Jared Wilcox, aka the Super General.
Sweet.
The funny thing is I was talking to TJ on the phone the other day, and it was like as soon as we started talking on the phone, the dog started barking. It was like the same.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Just know when any kind of like audio device is on.
They can smell it. They sniff it out.
Yeah. Moose is not. Moose has been delegated to a special guest star, so he's not here this week again. But we'll get him sometime.
It was because we made fun of cats too much.
Yeah, probably.
That's what my thing is.
He just said he's busy again.
Watching cats again.
Yeah, so this week the main movie discussion is The Man from Earth, but as usual, or as I'm trying to kind of work in regularly, are getting like a couple warm-up topics. I watched Sound of Metal the other day, one that's been nominated for Best Picture and a few other awards at the Oscars, but also just one that I wanted to check out, and it was pretty good. A big reason it stuck out to me was because of the lead actor. I really like Riz Ahmed, and he's getting a lot of acclaim for his role, and I think he's pretty dang good in it. Yeah, Sound of Metal. Were you just making faces, Travis, or did you see it too? Okay, did we just completely lose him?
I think we might have lost him.
Okay.
Niner, mate.
There you go. That's the profile picture that I was talking about too. That's right there.
Travis is yelling in his truck about entitled liberals these days.
Yeah.
That's his perfect.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna leave him there. We'll just leave him.
Yeah.
Leave the name up. Oh,
and he's gone.
Okay. So that totally throws off my.
Oh, now it's just on my face. Hold on, I have your. Hold on, I'm gonna. This is stupid.
Oh shit!
No, now you're moving it, and now.
Sorry, we had an emergency landing.
Okay.
To take care of.
In time for the dogs to pitch back in.
Yeah.
Got
Maybe it's
Captain.
me.
Got Captain Sully over there doing a.
Yeah.
doing a water landing, or you're like Denzel in Flight, and you're just like wasted.
I drank the vodka.
So, Sound of Metal, what a movie.
Yeah, tell me about it.
No, Travis, I asked, like, right when you were cutting out, I said you were making faces when I was talking about it. Did you see it, or were you just making faces?
Oh, I don't think that I knew. I wasn't sure if you could see me or not, so I was just making faces.
Oh, okay.
Because I couldn't hear you guys.
Oh, okay.
When I was, like, sticking my tongue out and stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay. Wow, cool. Yeah, I didn't... You guys were frozen, so I thought I was, like, not on. I was just like...
Oh,
yeah.
No.
You know, how normal people do.
Yeah. Amongst us.
But yeah, it was. I guess it feels weird to get back to it now, but yeah, it was pretty good. The lead actor did a really good job. I really like that guy in the stuff I've seen him in, and I just remembered when I was doing the movies. When I was adding your movie recommendations, there was one that I meant to add that I just remembered, and it's one with him. So I'm gonna write that down really quick so I don't forget about it again. Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what else I've seen of the ones that are nominated for Best Picture at the Oscars. That could be. Let's see. I like Judas and the Black Messiah and the Trial of the Chicago 7 a lot too.
I kind of wanted to see Judas and the Black Messiah.
It's pretty dang good. Those two guys are awesome.
It's Lakeith Stanfield and Daniel Kaluuya. Yeah. This whole last like year and a half has been so weird regarding like just movies. Like I haven't been to a theater in over a year, so it's just like, oh yeah, like the Oscars are still happening. Like there are still movies that like it. Yeah. So like a majority of like the Best Picture, I don't even know. I know Mank is up for Best Picture. I know it's a David Fincher movie. That's pretty much all I know about anything.
Yeah, it's it's like everything is on streaming, which is cool. And I can't remember if I was like what I was watching, but somebody like pointed out that it was funny because like just a couple years ago you had people like Spielberg or other like old school Hollywood types like saying streaming services should never get like nominated for Oscars, and now it's like just because of the times, it's like almost maybe everything is like a streaming movie because Sound of Metal's an Amazon movie. Mank is Netflix.
Right.
I'm trying to think of the other. I can't. Trial of Chicago 7's Netflix. God, yeah, I'm like drawing a blank on the other ones. I've seen like half of them, but I'm drawing a blank on what the other ones are. Nomadland, Minari.
Okay, yeah. So like, yeah, I've heard of those. Like I've seen. I wanted to see Minari. I think my roommate.
Yeah, me too. Stephen Yeun's another one. Like I just like Riz Ahmed, the guy in Sound of Metal. I like watching him and stuff. Like kind of like undersung actors up until now, because I know Riz is nominated for Best Actor. I don't know if Stephen Yeun is. But yeah, I really want to see Minari as well. I mean, like it's kind of cool because like every one that was nominated for Best Picture was one that was already like on my watch list, whereas most years it's like half of them are, and then there's like a couple that are like, well, I'll watch them because they're nominated, you know, in stuff, or like I didn't hear about them until they were nominated for stuff, and then there's like one or two that I'm like, I don't want to watch that, but then I force myself to. But every single one is one that like I just saw a trailer for like prior to award season. I was like, yeah, I want to see that. Promising Young Woman is another one that I was really surprised to see get nominated. And also the other thing is that they're extending, because like for instance, I don't know if any of the others are, but at least Judas and the Black Messiah is a 2021 movie. They're extending the acceptance into like January or February of 2021. But it's not like there's not enough movies that came out in 2020. So it's kind of weird And, you know, maybe that one wouldn't have gotten a nomination if it wasn't allowed in this year and it was only available or acceptable for next year. Because a lot of times movies that are released earlier in the year, even if they're like really good, they tend to be like forgotten come award season, kind of left behind.
Where you're like, oh yeah, I do remember seeing that like on Christmas or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Judas and the Black, in the Black Messiah. That's I'm very curious about that. Also, like for political reasons, because I know it's like Fred Hampton, and it's like the guy that basically like sold him out to the CIA.
Mm-hmm.
How well do they address like the fact that like the CIA like extrajudicially murdered him?
It's very not friendly. Not friendly towards the CIA.
Okay.
It makes it seem very whatever that guy's name is. Oh, it just has their movie names. Whatever Lakeith Stanfield's character's name is. He's like they like almost like blackmail and like force him into doing this. And it's very like they're not like painted in a good light.
It's not like the both sides were just kind of conflicted and like that. Yeah.
No, there's like because J. Edgar Hoover is in it Martin Sheen playing J. Edgar Hoover. J. Edgar Hoover is in it.
Oh, that's good. Ooh, that's a good casting choice. That's a good casting choice.
Yeah. He's in it, and he's only in like a couple scenes. He's like very sparsely used, but there's like a point where they're like something along the lines of like he's like, you know, get rid of him, or like I don't know if he says like kill him or like arrest him or whatever, but they have like a conversation along the lines of like, oh, but he's not doing anything illegal, and then he's like, we'll make something up. So it's like that kind of attitude, like no, that's what they were like. I'm gonna pull up all the pictures. Okay, there's The Father, Judas and the Black Messiah, Mank, Minari, Nomadland, Promising Young Woman, Sound of Metal, Trial of the Chicago 7. So I still need to see 3 of those. And
when are the Oscars? Is that like February?
Normally they're like February or March, but now they're... Oh wow, that's coming up soon. Next Sunday. Not 2 days from now, but the one after.
We could
25th.
I'll try to like catch up on Oscar stuff. I wouldn't mind watching like all the Best Picture noms, and then I don't know if you want to do like a before or an after Oscars type like episode, but I think that'd be fun to like talk about.
That would be cool. Yeah, actually.
I just gotta
I
catch
hadn't
up
even
on
thought
all
about
those.
that.
Topical, you know.
Yeah. I wonder if we'd be able to do an Oscars stream or something too.
Oh,
that
like
could be cool
like
too.
A reaction to. Oh,
maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, something like that.
Well, I'm pretty sure like having someone on stream driving a car breaks TOS, and we haven't been taken down yet. So we could probably
driving.
Oh, that's...
Well,
I'm not driving.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
It's a mirror. It's a mirror effect, so it looks like he's on that side of the car.
It's just it's an elaborate green screen zoom background. Discord.
Oh yeah, I'm in England.
Yeah. If there's an issue with that, then like you could just make it like a watch along. You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Spitballing kind of.
Yeah, because I know back during like the 2020 primaries, I was watching it was like the Chapo live streams of like the debates, and like basically we had to, if you wanted to watch along, you had to like sync it up with them, because if they showed the actual debates, I guess it was like a TOS thing.
Weird, because I feel like Hassan, when he was covering like the presidential debates and stuff, he just watched them, but I could be wrong.
I'm not sure how it works.
It depends on what it is.
We're not getting
I have
their
no
thing.
Oh,
That's
shit. Like it's
Okay.
choppy?
Oh no,
Is it
now
choppy?
you sound good.
It's good now. It's good now. It's good now.
Okay. There's this guy that I follow that he streams like sporting events. He doesn't have the commentary up. He provides his commentary. He doesn't do that on Twitch though. He does it on like Periscope or something.
Oh,
Something
okay.
about sports commentary. Okay.
Well, yeah, because I was almost gonna chat in your stream last night when you were doing your end of the year video, like fair use laws are so nebulous and weird.
Yeah.
That it's like you could argue that it's providing commentary or education or satire, but it's like if you get taken down, there's not really any way to fight that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Being like a small potatoes streamer, it's like it's not even worth it. Just take your lumps.
Oh, there you go, bringing up Potato Head again.
You know what that makes me
Yeah.
I wanted to get to my Best Picture nominee that didn't get nominated. It's called the QAnon Queen. I don't know.
The Mike Lindell My Pillow guy documentary. That you put
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
Oh, speaking of Mike Lindell, there's a new movie with Jamie Kennedy that just came out. That's Roe versus Wade. That has like John Voight and all these like old classic actors that are like conservative shitheads now.
Okay.
And like, but Jamie Kennedy is like the only one who's like apolitical, and he's just like, I don't know, I just signed up for a role. Like apparently, like Jamie Kennedy put a statement out where he said that it's like when I try to get on TNT shows, they have me do like 9 reads, and it's really hard. But this one was really easy, so it's like I almost kind of respect him more for just like, yeah, dude, get that bag, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh,
easier to get onto that.
This kind of reminds me like tangentially that I haven't yet because I'm not sure if I want to like advocate like watch like supporting him. But did you guys know that Ben Shapiro like produced a movie about like a school shooting? And
Is
like,
that Run, Fight, Hide?
Yeah. I thought about throwing that in for like the bad movie pot, but I don't know. I don't think I want to.
I would not watch. I would.
I'd pirate it.
But I've heard it's really like very how you would think a Ben Shapiro produced movie about a school shooting would turn out.
Yeah.
There was oh man, I think was it Christian Mingle? There was a movie that Trevor and I watched that was like one of those. Well, this almost leads into A Man from Earth.
Christ Mingle.
Christ.
Yeah.
But
I thought you were saying a guy's name actually. When you said
Me too. I thought you said Christian Mingo or something. Yeah.
I thought you were talking about like Christian Mangala or something.
Christian Mangala. Ooh. But yeah, those like the made for TV like religious movies that are like so over the top like that. They're funny, but not in the like. There was one that we were watching, and like I pretty much refused to pay for like the service to watch it on. I was like, no, I am going to pirate this movie. I'm not paying money to like support any of this.
This is all sarcasm, of course.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, you're not driving. He's not pirating.
I'm not driving. I'm flying right now.
We can see right as you said that. I just noticed we can see the shadow of the steering wheel on your chest.
No. Yeah. Well, how do you think you fly a plane?
I don't think they have steering
wheel in a
wheels.
plane.
No.
I guarantee you, there's no TOS about flying while streaming. So
this is
that might be true.
And technically, I'm not streaming, so come get me.
That's true. That
is true.
It's going off the grid.
Yeah.
Yep. Just like my QAnon brothers like. Gotta get off the grid.
Yeah. Segue. We watched The Man from Earth. That's our spotlight movie for the week. It's from 2007, directed by Richard Shankman, but I would say most importantly, or I guess just the most influential thing is that it's written by
Jackass.
And he got because it's It's also known as Jerome Bixby's The Man from Earth. In short, because this one is, as opposed to some of the movies we've talked about, this one is very easy to give a brief summary. A retiring college professor invites some of his friends to his house for a retirement party, or a moving party, I guess, not necessarily a retirement party, where he reveals to them that he is a 14,000-year-old Cro-Magnon man who has lived through the years as a person, and the movie just kind of goes from there. It's a one location, mostly real time, where it follows their discussion around him and just kind of like more theoretical topics surrounding the concept. That's it. It's just a talky movie, a high concept, low budget sci-fi.
It's sci-fi before sunset.
Yeah.
I think I tweeted it and I said it was like a philosophical science fiction movie. Like, that's kind of like the two major bases that it covers.
It does kind of sound like the premise of the movie came out of like four friends being high in a basement one night. Like, what if you were like a caveman but you like never died?
Well, I was looking up Jerome Bixby earlier, and he wrote a pretty influential episode of The Twilight Zone.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Is that the one where like the little kid wishes them into the cornfield, or is that a different one?
I didn't see, but I meant to look this up ahead of time. This movie did remind me of The Twilight Zone, like in general. Like it seemed like it could be an old Twilight Zone episode. But there is an episode in particular that deals with, and I wanted to see if he wrote that one, about a guy who, it's a very similar scenario, but I think it's just one-on-one in the Twilight Zone. It's just one old, immortal guy talking to his one friend. But it's a really similar thing where he's like, I've been living for thousands of years, and I'm telling you because I'm close to you and I want to like let you know, and similar to this movie. And I meant to see if he wrote that one. He also wrote for Star Trek.
Okay.
That's his other big thing. And I would almost say that like it's almost weird to like classify this as science fiction, because it's only in that conceit that like he's immortal that it's science fiction, but like everything else, it just plays out like a drama. Like an indie drama pretty much.
Well, I almost wanted to segue from us talking about those like low budget like Christian movies, because that's like the antithesis to that. Like I feel like the quality, the picture quality, and like the acting is almost like the antithesis of those like Christian movies, where it's like almost like the polar opposite. Like it has almost the same aesthetics and acting style, but the message is like completely different on the other end. I enjoyed it, but it was very weird. Is the tone, like a couple of the characters, I don't know, the low budgetness really shines through. And I think
really does.
It
really
the
does.
ideas behind it are really, I think the idea behind it is like really cool and interesting. Travis is falling out of the plane. Oh my god.
I'm skydiving.
Like my first
dream.
Oh, yep. There it goes.
Wait, you can't.
No. Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Wait. You came back.
Okay.
Yeah, now.
Okay.
My first note is like, Harry sounds like Jerry Seinfeld, looks like Tom Hanks. And
Which one is that?
He's the one that like is like the guy that cracks jokes immediately, and they're like really weird.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's what I was thinking of.
And
He's in like X-Files, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, well that was like another thing. I looked up this movie, and like a majority of the actors are in either like X-Files or like the 2017, 2018 like Twin Peaks.
I didn't see that. I just saw that like a couple of them were in the X-Files.
what's his name? Not Art, not Harry. The other guy.
The guy. Okay, are you talking about like the motorcycle guy?
Yeah, not
Oh my
Tim Robbins.
word, that guy.
Who did he remind you of someone? Because he reminded me. I could not see. Okay, I just got his name. Jeff Lowe from Tiger King.
I was gonna say Doc Antle.
Yes.
Oh,
got
Doc Antle. Okay. Yeah.
Down to even the perverted, like he's dating a student thing. Like
Yeah.
creepy
Oh shit! I didn't
relationship
even
thing.
think about that.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
Yes.
I knew it was so weird because in my head I was like, it's not him, but there were so many times where I was like, he's that guy. Like he looks and he sounds exactly like that dude from Tiger King.
When he
What
first
if
showed up,
he
I thought he was
liked
like
that
Tim
movie a
Robbins.
bunch?
Tim Robbins.
He
Yeah.
looks like an older Tim
He
Robbins.
does kind of live like Tim Robbins.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
can see that.
I
Yeah.
think that Jeff Lowe like saw that movie and he's like, whoa, that was so cool. That guy who was dating the young chick, that's who I want to be. And then he just like modeled his whole shit after that dude.
Yeah.
I was gonna say about the amateurism, I guess. I actually thought that it was pretty easy to get past like the low budget look of it.
Yeah.
I didn't really notice it at first. I was like, oh man, this feels very similar to the beginning of The Room. Like I was like,
Yeah.
it's a little much. And then I don't know if you guys noticed this, but even the script at the beginning was a little bit little weak, I guess. It just
Yeah.
seemed like they were moving stuff forward by like picking up objects and saying like, oh,
What's this?
this is a cup. Yeah. And it was like, that's a really bad way to like
Forced.
drive a narrative.
Yeah.
Just
It's like first time writing banter. Like this is like
Yes.
like a very
Yes.
amateurish like banter type thing.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Granted,
Also,
one of
the
those
lens
things did
flare
come
that you
back
have
around.
going on is sick.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
me? I just noticed that too. Yeah.
CJ Abrams over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also during like that opening sequence, I noticed that like the ADR was also very jarring to me.
Yeah. That was
Like,
that was really rough when anytime they were outside.
Like there wasn't
Oh, yeah.
like it wasn't bad. Like the quality of their voices was good. What they needed was like exterior, like outside sound, so it didn't sound like just like, oh yeah, I'm picking up this cup. Like
I'm
Yeah.
getting out of my car, and
Yeah.
we're in the desert, out in the middle
Yeah.
of nowhere.
just like studio quality ADR when it's just like you're outside. There's gonna be some sort of, I don't know.
hmm
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some like continuity and there's errors all over. It's like it kind of felt like it wasn't like proofread or something, like an essay that hasn't been proofread or something.
Well,
Yeah.
you know, and I know Travis looked him up, and it sounds like you did too, Nick. I wonder if maybe it wasn't. I didn't see how much they adjusted it, but the script was apparently finished on his deathbed, and
Oh yeah.
which was 10 years prior. So you have to think this is a movie made in 2007, written in 1998. And over the course, it said that he started writing it. I don't know, like, the process of, like, you know, did he write the story and then he was just kind of refining it until he died? But it said he started writing
He
it
just
in the
put
60s.
the last period.
Yeah.
He just put a period on it and was like, okay, he just finished writing it.
Yeah.
Just like,
But I wonder if maybe it wasn't really edited. They're like, oh no, we want to preserve his, you know, his original idea or whatever, you know. We don't want to.
I think it would have been great in the 90s.
Yeah.
Like the way that it looked very much like if you could have trimmed some of the fat, you would have had like a perfect like made for TV like 45-minute melodrama.
See, and that's why I think that like
Yeah, or a Twilight Zone.
I wish it had just been a Twilight Zone episode. I wish that like it would like think of like how bad this movie looks for 2007, but how good how good the original Twilight Zone series still holds up. Except for, as Clea pointed out, there's a few, and I I did think about this too. There's a few episodes where they like changed cameras. It's like something with the studio, I think, and those look bad. But most of the Twilight Zone episodes still look so clean and good. And yeah, if they had trimmed it down a little bit, just make it a Twilight Zone episode, and I feel like this would have been so much. I would feel so much more positive about it. It's not like there's not positive things to it. I do like a lot of the script. I have issues with it as well.
This is the best way to do this. Getting shit done, talking about a movie. This is great.
You're killing two birds with one stone.
I was gonna say we were just harping on them for like not having any like outside noise, but I can't hear anything on Travis's mic except when he talks.
Well, yeah, I got this right from American Airlines, so like it's high quality.
This is top of the line stuff.
Top of the line noise canceling. Actually, no, it's the noise canceling on my phone, I think is what it is.
My next note is, holy shit, he downed Henry like it was nothing. I guess Harry.
When he's
like, I'm gonna text your reflexes, and he just like,
that was so weird.
Yeah.
like, dropped into the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're like so casual about it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they did the very like amateur movie thing of like, when he went to help him up, I'm not doing it right. Okay. So when he went to help him up, instead of like cutting or something, he does it in he's like, here, let me help you up. But his hand is like, I don't know if that makes any sense. His chest is like a foot away from the other dude's chest. And he's like, can I
I think I know what you're
like this.
It's unnatural.
Like if this is the dude's hand, he's like, oh, can I help you up like this? And it's like, yeah, you're not in a position to help somebody up right there, bud. You literally have to stand up first.
It's almost like when they get into like the really like heavy like theoretical philosophical stuff. I really like all that, but it's kind of like everything else is iffy. Like I said, like the intro is it's really forced. I'm not a huge fan of the ending. Which again, the revelation with
I lost my shit. I was laughing so hard. I was like,
I thought at first I was like,
bad.
At first I thought like, oh, he just like, I thought he was just like his professor at Harvard or something because he was a psychiatrist or whatever. I was like, oh, okay, so he went to, and then he realized, oh my god, I recognize him from college, so he is telling the truth. That's what I thought he was like freaking out about.
Oh,
I totally missed.
No, I got it right away.
Well, it like a few seconds later I got it, but there's like, there's stuff that like, I like the idea of him being like, that revelation could be cool, where like, because it reveals like, oh, he does actually care about people. He talks so much about how like, oh, I can't have any connections, I can't love anybody because like people die and whatever. And then you realize at the end like, oh, well, he came back to, because that guy, like, he knew him when he was working at the college, the Richard Reel's character. So it's like, you know, he probably, most likely, I mean, it would be crazy if it was coincidence, but we'll get back to coincidence later because that's another issue I have with this. But you know, presuming he did that on purpose, it's like it proves that he was kind of lying, that he does care for people, and it's like, oh, that's a really cool insight into his character.
Yeah.
But the way it's done is not great.
Except we're talking about his child that he left like immediately after being born. So like, yeah, he does care enough to be a deadbeat dad, and then just like send him off to like across the river Styx.
Right, you can think of it that way, but you have to think like, I think for the most part that like how he feels like detached, there's even a part where he says like, he refers to humans as like you people, and then somebody's like, so do you consider yourself separate from humans? And I don't think he really responds to it, but like, I don't know if I would really like count it that way, because he really doesn't like. I think maybe at the time, at least, he was like, well, you know, I'm not a person. I don't belong here. So what if I have a kid? He's going to die and I'm going to keep living and it doesn't matter. And maybe that's also why he's like,
he dies.
Maybe that's also why he's
hardened.
like, yeah.
He just becomes Drago.
And or he's just like, well, I don't want to get attached to him because I know he's gonna die. So for me, it's better on my psyche, you know.
That's how I saw it. I never saw it as like, oh, he doesn't care about them. I just always saw it like he's too vulnerable. Like even after whatever thousands of years, he's still like affected by like death that he doesn't like want to get too close to people.
And then he causes his son's death.
Yeah, my next note was, is that the jump to conclusions guy from Office Space?
That's what I was going to refer to him as.
Yeah. Like the only notable actor. And like at first when he came on, I couldn't think of the dude's name, and I was like, I kind of had a brain fart and I was like, oh shit, is that Wilford Brimley? Like I thought it was the diabetes guy.
Yeah, and his name is Will.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I just realized that's how he died. He died by jumping to conclusions.
That, I mean, okay. If we're gonna talk, like, that guy's character is so bizarre. Like, the one Jeff Lowe like calls him up and is like, hey, our friend is having a psychotic break, and he's like, okay, my wife just died, but I'll be right there. And then he shows up and he starts questioning him, and then he pulls out a gun. Like they try to like brush it off, like, oh yeah, it's crazy, his wife just died, like, so he's really stressed out. And it's like, but he preemptively, like, he planned on, this is gonna escalate to the point where I'm gonna have to prove a point with a gun, and he brought a gun. It's just weird to me.
But then it was also revealed that there were no bullets in it. It's one of those things where I feel like it's like they're trying to have this dramatic moment, but it is so illogical and like doesn't make sense that it doesn't really pay off, because if you think about it too hard, you're like, yeah, like you said, his wife died, so he's gonna take this unloaded gun to this intervention that he assumes is going to like escalate to that point.
No, I think he
retroactively. Go ahead.
I think he did have bullets on him. I think he had the gun because he was going to kill himself.
Potentially, but he brought it into the thing. Like,
well, yeah, he keeps the thing on him, but like I think his original intent was to kill himself.
Oh,
and I think that's why he like. Afterwards, John goes outside and he like has him give him the gun, because he's like, don't kill yourself. I'm going to do it in like an hour.
I'm going to do it for you. Give me some time, bro. Let me work my magic. I've been alive for 1,000 years. I know how to do this shit.
I'm going to blow your brains out in a different way.
Yeah. Yeah, he's actually just been planning this for like 1,000 years or something. Like, you know, he's just like a sadist at this point. That's what I thought early in the movie, because I forget what they were. He was like talking about like orgies or something like that. I don't know if that's right, but he was talking about something like that, and I was like, damn, this dude, like, he's the dude who invented fetishes, because like he's been alive so long that he's like so bored with like normal sex that he was like, I don't know, let's try feet. I don't know. See what happens.
Throwing spaghetti at the wall.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's for me, it's like everything in between those big moments is good. I really like how the characters kind of like meander through like figuring out, or kind of like logicalizing, like, you know, how someone like him could exist, and like, you know, just the general like discourse. But yeah, it's when it gets to those moments like the gun or the ending and stuff where it doesn't hit. And like when we were talking about that, like I feel like that stuff would feel less weird in an episode of Twilight Zone because it's a TV show. It's a one episode of a TV show. It's, those are like, there's some Twilight Zone episodes where like a lot of stuff happens, but it's kind of the vibe of the show. A lot of stuff is going to happen. You have like a tight window, and it's more acceptable to have maybe a less fleshed out story, less fleshed out characters doing these things, like pulling guns on them or like, revealing that it's this kid. But since it's in a movie, it doesn't feel it feels like they have to justify those more, but it really feels like it was written for like a television show. And I think if it was like you said, like a 40-50 minute episode, I feel like it would be so good, so tight. Yeah,
I thought, kind of circling back, I thought it was cool the way that they like kind of had a member of each sort of like school of thought regarding like life and like the world. So like, I'm a geologist, so, and they're all like, in different versions of academia. I thought that was like an interesting way of like,
I think that was intentional. Like maybe like it was for him to like because he says he's never done this before. And
intentional for him.
I think that's why. Yeah,
Okay.
like he picked this moment because it's like, like who's most likely to, like, all these people can verify the stuff that I'm saying.
Okay.
He's not gonna like tell his coworkers, like in the next one, he's not gonna tell his coworkers from Denny's, like, hey, I'm a guy from like, hey, where do you get your bud? That sounds...
gets a job. Yeah, I want to see like all the mundane, terrible jobs that he's had.
Yeah.
Like, these guys don't even know I'm Jesus.
Yeah, I do wonder about some of the things about, and like he kind of like they make like a couple like quick references how he's like arrested sometime. Like he said he like went to jail for like forging documents. So like I'm surprised that like it hasn't happened more, I guess.
I don't get how that works. Like, yeah, I guess if he's in jail, he would have to be in jail for something that lasts like a sentence less than 10 years.
He said it was only a year.
I'm also seeing that this movie got adapted into a play, which I feel like it would
totally
also be
see that.
very good as a play.
Yeah, I agree. I think I almost feel like even if you don't change anything, it would work better as a play. Just again, like I feel like some of the moments are maybe more fitting for a play. Just for some reason, it being in a movie, like movie format, I feel like just moments, like especially that revelation at the end, were just like not very deserved or something. The other thing that bugs me, my other big gripe with the script, the writing in general, and I really wouldn't harp on this as much if the movie didn't take like logicalizing itself so seriously otherwise. He knows too many people from history, and he only name drops a few, but you have to consider, like, and he even says, like, you have to think, like, I am a person living in the present, I'm not looking back from the future. So like he doesn't know anything more than what the people living in the present know. He's on the same page as everyone else. So he's not going to know that Vincent van Gogh is going to be one of the most famous painters ever.
Right.
And like when that happened, I was like, okay, all right, he knows Vincent van Gogh. Okay. But then he name drops like so many other people throughout, and I'm like, come on, it's getting a little...
Yeah, Buddha, and then...
Buddha.
I hated when they said, like, he was like, oh yeah, like, oh shoot, I don't want to talk about this, like, oh, I didn't think that this would come up, but yeah, I was Jesus. Like, that's too much. Like, they didn't have to go there. And
It's
it
like,
was
come
just
on,
bad.
That
It was bad.
That again is an example of like, I really like the discussion that comes from it, but just the concept that like this guy is also Jesus on top of all this shit. He's also Jesus. But the discussion that comes from it, I really like. That was like maybe my favorite bit of discussion, I really like how he, you know, when like they're questioning him about just like religion and Christ in general, and like I don't know, I really enjoyed that bit.
I don't know.
How he's like, hey, people took my teachings and like twisted them into this blah blah blah. I really liked conceptually like that.
Well, he basically kind of says that he's follows Eastern religions, and then he was trying to bring Eastern religion to like the Western
Roman
world.
Empire.
And I was like,
Yeah.
But then like a simple like tweak on that to make it like better. I think all they would have had to do is just say like, I met Jesus. I met that guy. Like,
yeah.
And make it more like I don't know. Like they said this.
He's
stuff,
Brian.
But, like, I didn't. Yeah, more like that.
Yeah.
Like he's a third party observer, like he was with Buddha. Like he like when he was like, oh, I knew Buddha. It's like, okay, that's whatever, that's fine. It's just that when they start to say that, oh, and then his like excuse, like, oh, I learned meditation so I could slow my heart rate down, and I was like, come
Yeah,
on,
yeah,
Dad.
that
Like,
yeah.
you don't have to do that.
yeah, it's
It's a guy who Forrest Gumped his way into becoming Jesus Christ.
Yeah. It just seemed like, I don't know, almost like, I don't know what the guy's like religious views are, but it almost seemed like he was not like, he was like, maybe he was like Buddhist or something.
Well, I think he is like, yeah, I think he's ultimately.
I'm
Buddhist.
saying the writer.
Oh,
Like, I don't know if he like had. It almost seemed like he had like an agenda at that point, where I was just like, okay.
no, I don't
'Cause
think
then
so.
He goes into kind of like smack talking Christianity and like.
I'm okay with that though. I really like the viewpoint that it took in that regard. Like to me, I would say that he's either I would say, well, I don't know. I don't think as much that he was trying to force something. I think that he's just that the whole movie is about like discussing like the philosophy around him essentially, and that's just another topic of conversation. To me, it's no different than like all the conversations they'd had previously about other subjects around him. It's just like, okay, now we're going to talk about it in the guise of like religion.
Yeah, but I felt with this, I'm just saying, like, like I said, I don't know the guy's like religion or politics or anything. I'm just saying it kind of almost started to feel like, okay, they're really hammering on this, and I know it's because like that was supposed to be like the climax, like that was the thing that was supposed to like get the people like really pissed off and like like
Yeah.
so they could have a climax and he could be like, just kidding, like they just like watched like a really abbreviated version of Lost, like everything you just heard was bullshit. But yeah, after they were really hammering
Totally
that,
not purgatory, guys.
no he was just like hammering it so much that I was just like, okay, like I don't know where this is coming from, and it
Well,
just
that's-
feels like weird.
That's
Like,
kind
I
of
feel like a QAnon video at this point.
well, that's kind of what I was saying, that it was like it had the same. It was like the opposite of like one of those heavy-handed like
Yeah.
made-for-TV Christian movies, where it was almost like, what if you took one of those movies, but like a Reddit guy wrote it?
Yeah,
Not to reduce
atheist
big-
Reddit.
Yeah, not to reduce like Jerome Bixby to like a Reddit guy, like one of those like epic bacon atheist type characters, but it's just like, that ending was like pretty heavy-handed, especially like the way that she was like, this is like, I feel like what's her name, Ellen, like her character was kind of, or Edith.
Both
I feel like her sort of like overreactions to stuff were like, I don't know.
Yeah. Did you okay, I don't
No,
know if you
I
guys
ca-
got...
I think her like get at least at him claiming he was Jesus. I thought her reactions to that seemed totally justified. Like if that's what you believed, and you know, you'd been talking to this guy who I think she was obviously believing him somewhat up until that point. She was like, she was getting there, because then
Maybe
when
a
he's
little bit.
well, she gets upset when he says he's Jesus, and she
Yeah.
wouldn't.
I know.
She wouldn't be getting that upset unless she thought he was telling the truth. And
it was
like if
basically her and Jeff Lowe that were like the two that were like, no, we don't believe this at all. And she was kind of coming around a little bit. But then he said that, and then she was like,
no,
no.
but she had that. Yeah, exactly. She did the Luke. No, that's not true. That's impossible because she believed it.
And then she sawed her hand off in front of everybody.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought her reactions there made sense. It's kind of a bummer way that it wrapped up, not even considering the part where the guy dies, but like even before that, like that he's like, oh, I haven't tried this before, like I've never told anybody my truth, so I want to do it. I want to try seeing if things can be different now. And then in the end it can't, and he has to kind of be like, okay, I was right. I should never tell anybody about myself, so I'm just gonna go back to how things were and not get connected to anybody. So
yeah, I mean, well, he does have the girl, like
the one girl,
which is weird because I'm pretty sure she came with the like. Was he the geologist? He was the guy with the flint rock at the end, and he was the one who was like looking at
anthropologist,
that.
I think.
Anthropologist.
Yeah.
I think she showed up with that guy. So like, if John left, like, where was she gonna go?
Well, I think she was intending to spend the night. You know.
I know. I'm just saying, like, but he like leaves.
Yeah.
He stops.
So she's gonna be like, "Oh, I need a ride home now," you know, something like that. Like,
she's gonna take the dead guy's car, which I think is still parked. What's that? Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
Also, because she did come with Dan. Dan is the character's name. But it's like, one thing. Did he like kissed her on the lips when they left? I feel like when everyone was saying their goodbyes. I feel like I don't know. It could have been like a cheek kiss, but it was like
Dan did.
Yeah.
Dan, I
Tony Todd.
Yeah, he was one who I did know what I knew him from.
He's in an episode of the X-Files for sure.
He's also the Candyman in the Candyman movies.
Oh,
that's mainly what I think of him from.
And then one of my notes was that a yo-yo?
Oh yeah, I remember the yo-yo. Yeah,
because like his old man son dies, or was that before or after? It was before he dies.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
they're all saying he walks out of frame and he just like does one of these, and I'm just like,
well, he did that earlier in the movie too. Just like when they were talking, and I mean, I don't know if there was any significance to the yo-yo, but it did show him like. You know.
Okay.
Oh, I thought it was Spider-Man web. I thought he was like.
Yeah.
Did you guys notice at the end, when he was talking to whatever the chick's name?
The girl. Yeah.
There was like one shot. It cuts and it was black and white, or it was like close to black and white. It might have been like sepia, but it was like, that was a Fault in Our Stars that I found, that it was just like it almost seemed like they shot it like as the sun was setting and they lost light, and then they were just like, okay, we'll just
what was the shot of?
It cut to her.
I
guess I missed that.
Weird. Yeah,
it was like a mid shot of her, so yeah.
Oh, weird. No, yeah, that's weird. That I must have looked away. I try to, I'm not like on my phone for the most part. I think I probably slipped some, but at least for these ones, I'm trying to, be tuned in.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I must have just looked away because I feel like that would be hard to miss if it's
another
black and white.
Another random thing. It wasn't like straight black and white, but it was weird.
Mm-hmm.
It stood out, I guess, to me. Where did you guys watched it with ads, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where did the ads come? Because like for me, it was like really jarring. Like it was mid-sentence, just all of a sudden, like
the ads were not.
Yeah.
Jake from State Farm.
Yeah,
like,
they were. Yeah.
Up and it was like, what?
I was like, I was like almost scared of the like they were so like jarring at first. I was like, huh.
There was like near the end.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I had like right at the scene when it's just like he like drives away in the truck and then he stops and then he pauses. I had an ad right in the middle of that, and it's just like
There's 30 seconds left in the movie.
Yeah, and that's like, you know, the
I think I had one there too.
Is she gonna go with him? Is he gonna drive away? It's like this like kind of tense moment, and then it's just like
it's like
ad.
Yeah, it's just like how right before they reveal which celebrity it is on The Masked Singer that's getting unmasked, you gotta wait for another commercial break. Same thing.
Exactly the same.
Yeah, I had, and they were like 3 minutes each, which was, I guess that's a normal ad break for like TV, but I'm used to like Hulu ad breaks that are like a minute. But anyways,
yeah, I didn't have that.
There was
Mine were like 30 seconds.
Well, okay, this is how mine were. They were like 3 minutes each. There was one at like 10 minutes in, and then one at like 20 minutes in, and then I didn't have any until the very end of the movie. It was like right where Nick said he had one. So I only had 3 ad breaks. 2 of them were in the first 20 minutes. It was very weird.
It's very, yeah.
I think I only had 2. And they were like 10 minutes and 20 minutes.
They were squished at the beginning too?
Yeah, something like that.
Weird. I honestly, I almost feel like mine was after Nick's. I feel like mine was literally like right as the credits were about to roll, but I waited just to see, and then I got treated with a trailer for the second one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's okay. I might have gotten that one. I just thought that was like a trailer thing at the end. Like,
even the way that it ended and showed the trailer, it ended the way that like a made-for-TV movie ends, where like the credits squish down and then you see the video and it's like, up next on ABC Family, the Man from Earth Holocene. Like that's the way that it even looked that way.
Yeah.
The trailer started.
Yeah.
Because like it wasn't a mid-roll ad. It was like it was attached to the video. It was like, yeah.
Yeah, that was very strange. It did seem like it was like, airing on Sci-Fi Channel or something like that.
Yeah.
And that's almost where I would say like that's the quality of this movie is a Sci-Fi Channel original from 2007.
Yeah. Yeah, I could totally see that as one of those.
Yeah. Kind
of a segue. Yeah. But I guess this is me suggesting another movie. I think for the bad pile, but it's kind of similar. Have either of you seen Assassin 33 AD? Do you know what that is?
But I can guess.
It's I've seen this movie, so I know how it goes. But it's while doing research, a group of young geniuses accidentally stumble upon a secret terrorist plot to create a time machine to go back in time and change history. And you want to talk about like sort of like philosophical science fiction religious movies? It's kind of dumb, but it poses some interesting questions. And also there is literally a scene where they go back in time and like Jesus gets domed by like a Navy SEAL type guy. And it's like one of the most insane things I've ever seen in a movie. And
wait, so they tried changing history by killing Jesus? I don't get it.
Yeah, like on the night before he's supposed to get like crucified. Okay. There's like a SWAT team that like they like spawn into like
holy
wherever.
Shit.
And it's like but it's so, oh man, it's like you can tell that their intentions are like it's not like those like movies that try to ape the bad quality of like The Room.
Mm-hmm.
It's like done with very, very honest intentions, and it is like so funny.
Yeah, those are the ones you got to go for. You can't go for the ones that are like faking the bad.
But oh man, because like I was kind of thinking about that just in terms of like, again, like the melodrama and the acting style and like the music choices made for TV movie style.
Yeah.
These people they don't react appropriately after, like, at the resolution of this. They're like, are you sorry for what you said? And he's just like, and then, you're a sadist, John. Take my tail around. I'd be like, okay, fuck you. Thanks for wasting my night, asshole.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're moving away. I never want to see
Yeah.
you again. Bye.
Yeah.
There's
They
no,
didn't even
like-
help him move. They had like. Also, I was thinking about like the perspective of like
Me
the movers
too.
that were like
Me too.
lifting the couches, and they could just hear this dude being like, "Yeah, my good best friend Buddha,
Yeah.
you know, like Buddha."
Yeah, and they're there to move like one couch and like a table or something. It's like, really, dude?
You
You
hired
have-
movers for this? Well, I guess when
Yeah.
money isn't like a thing for you, probably.
Yeah, but still, you have 12 people over right now. So I
Yeah.
think you guys could probably handle it. I know you guys are like intellectuals, but sure you could figure it out. I do also love that like a lot of his names are like sick puns. Like John Oldman is just like
Oh.
so dope. It's so good.
What
It's
what
so
was
I-
what was the one that like made his son? I don't know why I quoted it as his son. I guess made his son because that name was like kind of
It was, like-
ridiculous.
It was like John Conclusions Matt or something like that.
No, it was like there was like an initial to it. It was like John P.T. Barnum or something like that. I don't remember.
John Pete or
I'll
Pete.
tell you in a second.
PT. Yeah, I don't remember. It was funny though. Yeah, there's flaws in like I mean there's flaws in everything. The script is the only thing that like keeps it from being just like pretty just like bad. There was some acting like I don't know, one spot that like kind of made me laugh in the acting, and it was from Tony Todd where he goes son of a bitch.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
I forgot.
that
That's
made
in
me
my
laugh
notes.
too.
That's in
That's
my
pretty
notes.
good.
And I thought I was like
I forgot.
it was
what
like just enough time to where I was like, oh, he's not
He's not
finishing
gonna
it.
finish
He's just
it.
gonna say
And then
son of a, but then he finished it, and it was it was funny. I can't
there's
see
n-
it.
Here, maybe I'll try to do it.
Oh,
Oh, son of a 2 hours later.
Yeah, the one above that. I thought the student kind of looked like Emma Watson, like an Emma Watson knockoff. By the end of
Oh,
it,
yeah.
I felt like she was getting super horny for the caveman. Dude. She was like really like.
Yeah, everyone's like, Edith is like crying. Doc Antle is just like, I never want to see you again. And then she's just like, oh, thanks for telling your story.
Yeah,
thanks
thanks
for
for the
and it's like, it's so interesting.
I think maybe because she's like she doesn't know him as personally, so it was maybe
Yeah.
more like she was watching it from the outside, and maybe it was I don't know. I kind of think that she did believe him even after. I think that because she's younger, so maybe she's like more open-minded than the people who are very like steeped in their professions, you know, who are like, no, this doesn't make sense because I am an anthropologist and this doesn't make sense to me. But she's like a college student. She's more kind of open to the idea. So I think that she was more like she was just kind of like caught up in like, holy shit, this is so crazy. This guy's so like interesting. So like I think it was just that she believed him.
She
But
buys.
yeah, maybe it came off as like I definitely saw that too, that she did kind of seem like attracted in a way. I don't know.
Yeah.
She buys Jeff Lowe's like whole line about like he owns a zoo and he's a totally rad party dude.
Yeah.
So that's why she's with him. But his name at Harvard was John Thomas Partee, which is sick because he's a college party, but he pronounces it party.
Yeah. That's it. Okay, so I thought it was initial, but yeah, it's just how he says party.
I think he just searches up, like he just like flips a dictionary open and then just like puts his finger on a word and he's like, all right, that's my last name and that's my persona this time.
Yeah. It would have been even because that's the one that his son recognizes. It would have been even better if his name was like John Daddy at that time.
Wait, you're John Father Figure?
Yeah.
I knew it.
You're John Pop Secret.
You're John. Yes, never mind.
And my last note was, holy shit, he died. And I was like that scene in Extract. Have you seen Extract? I think that was a
I
Mike
have.
Judge movie.
Yeah. I think we saw that one together.
Yeah, because at the end, Well, is it
It's his
David
neighbor, David
He gets,
Ketchner.
like,
Yeah,
Beckner?
that's
David
right.
Keschner.
Yeah,
He gets like so fed up with his neighbor that he yells at him, and then he just has a heart. He
I
has a
forgot
heart attack
about
and
that.
falls over, and then it smash cuts to like his funeral casket.
Yeah, I remember like laughing so fucking hard at that. That was probably like the
So
best part of the
shocking.
movie. Yeah,
Yeah, it was.
yeah, it was almost not quite. And hey, Mike Judge character does the same thing in this one, because
Oh yeah, that's
that guy.
that's true. It's like poetry; it rhymes.
Yeah,
I don't know. I kind of wish that she hadn't pointed out like John Oldman, because like I thought that was like something for the audience to be like, oh okay, and then she's like, hey, your name's a pun, right? Like obviously, I don't know, filling in for like the audience, like because we obviously get it, but she like the fact that like they draw attention to it. I thought I was like, it's kind of
I think that was just a vehicle to get him to like. They were like, okay, we want
Oh.
we want the guy to die, so let's figure out how to do that.
I do
Some
too.
fake names.
I
I
just
feel like-
rewatched that scene.
Okay.
She specifically says, "What other pun names have you used?" And he's like, "John Paleo, as in paleo whatever,
Paleolithic.
and then John Savage, for
For his
the Wonder-
WWE name.
for the Wonder Years."
Yeah, it's John Cena.
I got really into the Wonder Years. No, then he says John Thomas Partee. I got really crazy about 60 years back at a professor at Harvard. I went with John Thomas Partee, Partee, because I'm in
Oh,
Boston.
that's what it is.
Mhm.
Oh,
So,
yeah,
like-
that's what it is.
It actually, yeah.
Yeah.
And then he's like, John Thomas Partee. Like, he immediately is like, oh shit, this is my dad, because he said that he
Guess I'll
has.
die now.
Yeah.
Did
Because,
he
like,
not have
he's-
any like family photos like when he was like 10 years old before?
I
'Cause,
think
like,
I think John avoids, or at least tries to. He probably tries to avoid being
Photographed.
captured. Yeah, photographed and stuff. Because
Well,
that would have been the simple solution. He's like, oh, okay, you guys don't believe me? Well, here's a picture of me from 50 years ago. Eat shit. Conversation over.
yeah.
But I also
Shaking
think,
hands with Richard Nixon.
yeah,
I think of Forrest Gump.
yeah. I kind of think that, like, and maybe he does have photos. Maybe he was intentionally like, I'm gonna see how this goes without any like solid evidence. Like,
Sure.
maybe he did have a picture that he could show. Like, here's me at the Overlook Hotel in 1912. But he's like, no, I'm gonna see if we can like how this go. I don't know.
Maybe he's like Ted
Yeah.
Bundy and he's really good at disguising himself, like just by like cutting his hair and growing out a beard or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe
He was
he's
like,
Ted
yeah.
Bundy.
I was teaching college in Germany, and I'm the one who rejected Hitler from art school. Like,
He- I mean, if you think about it, it's like it's almost like Groundhog Day, but not repeating the same day. You're just like, except he doesn't know if he can die, like because he does get
Yeah.
sick. So
I th-
he's got to have a stretch where he just like fucking went crazy and killed a bunch of people. Like that had to have happened. He had to have been a serial killer at some point. Like he had to have been. You get to be like 800 years old and you're just like, fuck this shit. Like,
He was Vlad the Impaler.
yeah, or
yeah.
Jack the Ripper. Or
Yeah. Well,
Black-
somebody said that.
Yeah.
Somebody said that. They're like, who else were you? And somebody says Jack the Ripper.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
Yeah. They're
Maybe
like, they
what?
say like Shakespeare. I don't know. They just name other. And I'm like, hey, it's pointing out that it's kind of ridiculous that he's like,
Yeah.
knows all these people.
John Adams and then John Quincy Adams. He's both of them.
Yeah.
He only goes with John. He was John F. Kennedy too. He didn't get shot. That was also an Eastern like meditation thing.
Yeah.
where he got-
Yeah, he slowed his breathing after his brain got
Yeah.
splattered on Jackie Kennedy's dress.
yeah.
I think the idea is that I don't know. I mean, it could just be completely immortal, but I think that like if he was shot, he would die But
Yeah.
I think it's like anything internal, like his body is able to overcome any sort of sickness. But an external means of killing him could kill him.
Which is weird to think that he's lived like however many thousands
And
of
just
years.
nothing has happened.
Never
Yeah.
had an accident.
Yeah, statistically
wait.
speaking, like you're gonna get hit by a car or
Yeah.
something.
I could be wrong. Didn't he say something about how like he doesn't scar? So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he
Well, no, that could fit in that too. Like, it's something that doesn't kill him, but it makes him stranger.
I knew you were gonna. I knew you were going there.
it would be interesting. I sound like a fucking serial killer, but like, what would happen if like somebody cut his arm off or something like that?
What if that's what it is? What if he is a serial killer and he's just been eating like human organs?
My God.
His whole life. And
That's
how he stays young.
That's okay. This is where it all wraps around to the Q. That's the actual agenda that he was pushing. Is Jerome Bixby is Q, and he's like he's actually stayed like young so long because he's like drinking the blood of children and stuff.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, he gets that remdesivir, whatever was that
remdesivir.
called? Yeah, remdesivir. He gets that shit like he invented that shit
Yeah.
as a caveman. He just called it baby juice back then.
Yeah.
Now he had to like patent it, so now he gets money from it too.
Oh, I looked it up. That is the episode of the Twilight Zone where it's like the little, because it's Billy Mummy, who's from
Mummy.
Monsters? Or is it Lost in Space? Billy Mummy was like a child actor who was in. Oh, I guess he was in Lost in Space. But I remember my dad telling me about that. I think we watched that Twilight Zone episode.
Okay.
Where it's
I've seen that one.
Oh, Cloris Leachman is in it too. That's crazy. I'm just reading Wikipedia now.
Okay, yep, I remember that too. It says that was in the Twilight Zone movie too.
Yeah, that's like, I feel like that's like one of the most iconic Twilight Zone episodes. That and like the what is it? The William Shatner one,
Which is
like
also in the movie. Yeah.
Terror at like
20,000 feet or 10,000,
yeah.
whatever it is. I don't know the number.
Yeah, yeah.
I say the glasses one with Burgess Meredith too. Like probably any of them that are in the movie, obviously, but what?
Remember we did a like a video review of the Twilight Zone movie once.
We did?
Yeah.
That does sound like really vaguely familiar, but we never published it, right?
I think we did.
Oh. Damn, I totally forgot about that. Why did we do the Twilight Zone movie?
I couldn't tell you.
Huh.
We were into some weird shit.
Yeah. Who watches the Twilight Zone?
What would you put? What would that have been canon?
It's definitely not on any of my channels. Definitely. Oh, I would like to see how long the Goofs page is. Oh, it's really short. They must have been very kind to this movie on IMDb.
Or there's no overlap between the people who watch this movie and people who know about IMDb.
No,
Otherwise,
I don't. This movie has like a cult following.
No, it does.
That's why I included it, because you know, I was expecting the low budget. I kind of knew what I was getting into, but I didn't know much about the movie itself. I knew, like, all I knew about it was like really low budget, shows its budget, but it has a good script. And I mostly agree with that, but it's like it's got good dialogue, but like as an overall movie, I think it falters.
I'm looking at like the sequel, and they tried to recapture the same thing, where they made the sequel and then they uploaded it to Pirate Bay, which is just like that's a little transparent, because like the first, again, it's like that lightning in a bottle type thing, where it's like they accidentally made a cult film that kind of like The Room. Like The Room gained notoriety for like the sort of like midnight movie releases, or you know, back when Netflix shipped you DVDs, like
Mhm.
you know, one person would order the DVD and like they'd make copies of it and then everyone would watch it. It's like you can't like you can't fake that. It has to happen organically. And they tried to do that with the sequel by like, haha, remember you downloaded the first one on BitTorrent, so now we're putting it on the Pirate Bay, remember?
Yeah. Yeah, it would be nice to see, like, I don't think it would be that much better, but, like, if you could get it on, like, DVD or probably not Blu-ray, but, like, what would it look like? At least the sequel, like, would it look any better, or did they?
I think I said this to you, TJ, that, like, to me it looked like they got a call from Amazon or like, hey, we want to put your movie on our service. And the dude was like, oh shit, I don't have any copies anymore. And then he torrented it and then gave he gave Amazon a torrented copy of his own movie.
I mean,
_man_ from Earth .mp4.
I mean, this isn't like the only movie by any stretch that is like that's on Amazon that's like very low quality, low budget. It's just this is probably like one of the more highly regarded movies that looks that poor, but you can get those like literal dime a dozen like horror straight to video horror movies off of Amazon.
Yeah, there's a lot of those that are trash, but there are some diamonds in the rough of those like bad Amazon horror movies. Oh, there's some really, really funny ones.
Let's go. Who isn't? Travis, you go first. I don't think you've went first yet.
Shit. I watched it last Saturday, so.
Right.
I don't know. Like, I'm thinking a 6.
Okay.
It's like, I'm trying to go like maybe a 6.5 or I don't know. I'm between 6.
Is this the highest rated thing that you've done for this so far?
No, you gave House of Flying Daggers a 6,
Oh,
6.5, or maybe you gave it a 7.
Okay, I was gonna say
something else is 6.5.
You gave Hard Day's Night, I think, like 6.5 too.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah,
it's par for the course basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's I don't know, like obviously there's no reason to rewatch it. Like you know what happens basically. You know all the key like points. You could rewatch and like kind of go like, "Oh yeah, that's a cool conversation," but it's like I don't know. If it was like I would obviously like if I was going for this kind of vibe, I would obviously grab Before Sunset or anything from that series first.
Yeah, they're even though it's the same like kind of movie, I wouldn't really compare them, and like I would definitely have to be in a mood for like, either one.
The story, but it's all just like a discussion, like it's all this like philosophical kind of stuff, I guess.
Yeah. But like I would consider these different than 12 Angry Men, which is kind of the same thing. People in a room having a conversation.
Yeah. It is kind of the same thing. They're still like talking like philosophy and like world
I would say
and stuff like that.
But I'm not gonna be like I want to watch a talkie movie. Do I want to watch Before Sunrise or do I want to watch 12 Angry Men? They're different. They're different vibes, is what I'm saying.
Well, I feel like 12 Angry Men has more of like the sort of movie structure.
Definitely, it does. It has an end goal.
Play structure.
Yeah.
Basically the same thing.
True.
Yeah, like I don't know. I actually was kind of like when I first started playing and the stuff in the house, I think like looks wise, it was kind of like whatever. Like I said, I didn't really notice the bad quality. But when they were outside, any of that stuff looked like shit.
Yeah.
Just like
the weird
garbage.
ADR.
Yeah, and I like at the beginning, I was just like, okay, this is okay. Yep, they're talking. Yep, there's a lamp. Cool. Where'd you get this lamp? Oh, I don't know, a thrift store. Okay, cool, Macklemore. That's great. And then like I don't know. And then it's like I was kind of doing the thing where I'm like looking at my phone a minute and I'm like, okay, well, yep, still going on that, huh? And then like once they stopped doing that and started getting into the meat of it, I was like, okay, like phone away. I was like completely in it. And then they got to like the end stuff and it just kind of started to get a little bit ridiculous. And I was like, okay, you just like took all of that goodwill that you had stored up and just like kind of shit on it. So yeah.
Oh, you
deafened.
Yeah, I don't know what just happened. I'm going with a 6.
You just
did They're trying to silence you.
Is your cord or no? Do you have a cord in, or like maybe it's like unplugging?
You have a
and
hotkey?
I think it might be my keyboard. Yeah, so like a quick. There's probably. Like
he did it again.
My keyboard is like absolute trash.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
there
sure
might be like
a
quick hotkey.
Yeah, I think that's what's happening. I just gotta open up Word real quick and then slam on it a little bit and it goes back to normal. Yeah, should be good.
I'm like right there with you. I'm like stuck between a 6 and a 7. I'm really not sure which one I would lean towards more. Because I'm also like a little less critical of the low budgety aspects because I'm like, okay, it's a low budget movie, whatever, you know.
They're the beginning and end parts they're very short, so it's not like it really wasn't distracting.
It wasn't trying to seem like a big budget movie. It was like it's a movie about a discussion, and that's what it's about. And I think the bulk of that discussion was pretty good, but it's still hard to give it like a really high rating because I think it falters so much again on the big moments. So yeah, I don't know. I gave it a 7 on Letterboxd, but that was me being generous, I guess, because you can't do, because Letterboxd is only out of 5, so you can't do. I couldn't do 3 1/4 stars. I could only do 3.5 stars. So.
Okay.
But it really feels like 6.5 for me.
I'd like to add that I think this movie at my peak enjoyment of it is the most I've enjoyed any of the movies we've watched so far. Like,
oh, interesting.
That was like the best, but like what they do with it, like completely, like I said, takes away from everything. It's just like I was just like, wow, I cannot believe that I was like, okay, he's a caveman. Like, where are they gonna go with that? And then, it really did get interesting, the conversations. And then it
really does. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just gonna add. I was just gonna add to wrap mine up, to kind of go off another thing that Travis brought up, that like I would see worth in watching it again, because just partly because I think you would maybe, knowing like where it was going, you'd maybe be able to take in the individual discussions a bit more, but also just to kind of like observe the people more and how they like take it, because I was doing that somewhat, but also I was kind of like in my own head like, okay, but where is it going, you know, is there going to be any sort of like twisty thing? But like knowing that it's just like, nope, it's just straight up like blah, it's what they're saying, it might be kind of like cool to just see, like, watch the people. That's it. That's it. I just wanted to add that.
I think I'm kind of in the same boat with you guys, where it's like, with the Fantano rules, I think I'm feeling a strong 6.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah. Yeah.
But I feel like the sort of high concept nature of it lends itself well to like the people sitting around and talking genre, like you mentioned. I think the first thing I thought of was like either the Before movies or My Dinner with Andre, which I've never seen, but I know that that's like an entire movie that takes place like over the course of like a dinner conversation. yeah, I also found myself being more forgiving towards the low budgetness. I mean, we made a movie where we shot it on a hand cam,
Yeah.
converted it to DVD, and then
Shot it
took
on the
those
same
files.
cameras, these guys.
Yeah, we borrowed their equipment actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it would have benefited a lot either like coming out right after this dude died in like the late 90s. I feel like this would have been like the perfect late 90s like sci-fi original movie. I think it would have fit in really well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think maybe trim some of the fat, or not really. There was a lot of fat. Some of like the dialogue at the very beginning, again, like the sort of like exposition-y,
Mm-hmm.
like, haha, I don't know. The Harry character was like,
Yeah, he was the most.
he was,
The rest
because he started out like talking like Jerry Seinfeld. I feel like he switched accents halfway through. Because he's like, oh, what are you doing with these boxes? Like he kind of had that like Jerry Seinfeld affectation.
That guy was a very like sci-fi channel like actor
Yeah.
type.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Very like, oh, here's the comedic relief in a movie
Yeah.
that doesn't really need that.
Right. It's like, didn't I see you in The Langoliers or something? Going by like, would I recommend it or show or like watch it again? I don't know. I don't know if I'd watch it again, or maybe I'd look up Jerome Bixby's other stuff
Mhm.
and watch that. I wouldn't mind seeing like the stuff that he didn't write, like finish on his deathbed. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
But I
That's
think
why
there's a lot of
No, go ahead.
I think I completely lost it. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I was just sorry. Yeah, I was gonna say that's why the end gets all muddled. He was just like literally dying, and he was like, I don't know. He's like, okay, he's Jesus.
They were
and then-
like, they're like,
and
okay,
then, like,
the guy here, he's like, okay, because he had like somebody write it. He was dictating, and somebody's like, okay, so he's the guy hears and realizes that he's his dad, and then what happens? And then Jerome Bixby was like, I'm dying. They were like, oh, he died. And he's like, no.
Oh, he has a heart attack. Okay, that's good. I like that.
That's not where I was going. I was gonna say then he flies off into space.
Yeah. He has the Harry Potter 3 ending when he's on the broom and he's like,
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Sweet.
but yeah, I'm feeling strong 6. It would have been better as like a Twilight Zone episode or
Mhm.
like a TV movie that's like maybe 15 minutes shorter, but still really for like what it is and for like the low they blew all their budget on getting the jump to conclusions guy from Office.
He was their big get.
Yeah. It's gonna blow their minds. That dude was in Hastings. Did you know that?
What? Really?
There was like some, I think it was like a World War II historical. But I think it was like a World War II, like not World War II, a Confederate era like Christian movie that they were shooting, and they were using like Charlton Park as a
Wait.
backdrop.
Wait, you're not talking about Wild Faith, are you?
Is that it? That might be it.
He wasn't in that. That was the one that I worked on.
I've seen a picture of someone posted in like one of the Facebook groups. I've seen a picture and people are like, oh yeah, it's this guy from Office Space, and he's like standing outside the courthouse in Hastings.
What?
I'm pretty sure.
I mean, I wasn't there every day for that one because I was just a volunteer. But I saw it. I watched that one.
Okay.
And
How
I don't remember him.
That would have
being
been
that.
so badass if you were like, he walked out if he was there, and
And
you
I
walked
brought
out
a jump to
one day.
conclusions, Matt.
Oh, no, everybody does that. No, if you
I am not seeing him.
if you
That's
if you said, hey, nice to meet you. My name is, well, you go by TJ, so you could say Thomas John Partee, just to see what happens.
unless like it got cut, but I'll see if I can find it later. But I promise there was like a picture of this dude in Hastings doing something. They might have thin red lined him and like
Maybe.
cut his entire character like before you got to see it.
Huh. I mean, or maybe there was something else that that fits that bill too. I don't know.
I thought it was
that
movie.
was a Christian Civil War era, movie that we shot at Charlton Park.
Yeah. Also, Richard Rile's known for movies on IMDb is nuts. You got
Groundhog
The Man
Day?
from Earth, Casino, Deuce Bigelow, Male Gigolo, and Office Space. Those are like his 4 known for movies.
This is Bob Bigelow. It's
Oh,
Tom
this-
Smikowski, that's his name, yeah.
Okay. I searched Richard Reel, Hastings, Michigan, and then I clicked on images,
Mhm.
and the first 3 images are Richard Doyle.
Who?
He's like the guy from he's in like Groundhog Day.
I
It
don't
could
know.
have been. Oh, I don't know.
Oh.
And they do look similar.
I don't know who it is.
Wait, what?
The only guys I know from Groundhog Day is Bill Murray and Steven Tobolowsky.
Hold on. I'm so confused now. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Are you sure it wasn't Wilford Brimley in Hastings, or?
I swear to God, unless his character got cut, which is very possible. I swear to God, unless I'm like Berenstain Bears, memory holding this.
Huh.
But yeah, that's my review of this movie.
Have you guys ever had Popeyes?
I actually had Popeyes for the first time, I think a month ago.
Yeah, we did when we went west. I'm pretty sure it was Popeyes in Missouri. Yeah.
I just had it for the first time last night. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I wouldn't wait in like a 2-hour line for it like everybody else.
Like people fucking love chicken places. That and Chick-fil-A.
Yeah. No, the
I'll never
Popeyes by me. I think I might have told you guys this, but the Popeyes by me is like it doesn't have that big of a parking lot, and when there's like a line, people will like be in line in the road. Like it's a pretty heavy traffic area. It's like 2 lanes going this way, 2 lanes going the other way. People will be like in one of the lanes of traffic, stopped in line to go through the drive-through, and like. Maybe they tricked him, like he didn't know it was gonna be like, because when I hear like Confederate era Christian movie, the first things that come to mind are not good.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I can't wait to hear about slavery from that perspective. Like Richard Ryle got into Hastings to read his lines for the movie, and he was like, oh, actually, he has to have a conversation with a slave, where the slave actually is like, oh, actually, our masters treated us really well. Like, I guess TJ worked on the movie, so he'd have a better understanding. But it's just like, is that
what? Sorry.
The wild faith.
This is his like, this is if like Jamie Kennedy was smart.
Can you turn that light on?
And instead of being a movie with John Voight, who's like, I'm not so sure about this. Subject matter.
I actually also considered throwing some of their movies into the bad cup, but I don't know if I want to do that. I doubt any of those people from that would like watch our stream, but I'd feel kind of bad doing that. But
well, it's too late.
They're not.
Said it.
Yeah. So if they watch this, if they've been sitting around waiting for that little mention. Okay. Next week's movie is from one of my favorite directors of all time, and I have quite a few of his movies in here. It's Ikiru, by Akira Kurosawa, from 1952.
Oh, okay. I've never seen a Kurosawa movie, so that's exciting.
Neat.
What?
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
That's
Yeah.
fucked up. That's fucked up, bro.
I remember your
Chicken
copy of
sandwich.
Seven Samurai from Criterion and being like super jealous of that, though. I thought that was
so
one of
hell
the
yeah.
coolest things.
It's got
I-
a book in it. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a Ikiru, from Criterion as well. I have like quite a few of his.
Yes, I do too.
Oh
You
yeah,
haven't
it's really
seen it
dark.
yet?
I have seen Ikiru. Yeah, I haven't
I-
seen. Shit.
That is a big kitty. Oh my god, he's so big. Oh.
He looks so good in the light there. Oh, that's well, Travis knows who that is, but you should show Kelly. It's Bernard.
That's Bernard?
Yeah,
He looks way like, maybe it's the light. He looks darker.
yeah,
Like
it's
in all
probably
the
the light.
pictures I've seen, he's
He
like
he did
kind
get
of light.
he did get a little like slightly darker, but I think it's
hold
I
on.
think it's the light.
Looks really fat there.
He does look, yeah, his face looks, he's doing like the Garth face, like whenever I'd hold Garth up and he'd like
right.
all the fat would just go to his face. Yeah, it's just the lighting. He's not orange, but he is like slightly darker.
She's apparently she's watching the stream, so.
Yeah, I saw she just commented
Oh,
on
nice.
it.
Yeah, Ikiru is. I don't know how many Kurosawas I've seen, but that might be my second favorite. of his.
He just like hooked his tooth at me. Yes, maybe for me too. I haven't seen it in a long time, which is partly why I threw it on the list, because I want to rewatch it. He's just getting all bunched up and fat.
Yeah, he kind of looks like Taco Cat right now.
Taco Cat.
Is it streaming anywhere? Or...
I
It's
don't
on-
think so.
No, I think it's on HBO. A few
Is
of
it?
his
Oh,
are
is
on
it?
HBO. Yeah, and if not, I know at least me and Travis have it on DVD, so we can.
So yeah,
Work
you
it
gotta
out
figure
that way.
Nick.
Well,
No, I was
I
saying we
mean,
could work it
no.
out that way or something.
Like, oh no, I might have to go and buy a Kurosawa movie on Criterion.
Yeah. It's one of the cheaper ones too, but I was gonna add this one to the list, but I couldn't find it as being streaming anywhere, so.
What?
Akiru.
Oh, okay.
So I haven't seen. I was actually gonna add like all of his movies.
I added. I didn't add like all of them, but I added quite a few.
Okay.
And I'll do
Rashomon
the
and
thing that I'm
Throne
gonna
Blood.
do with Rashomon. I don't know why, but I don't think I did Seven Samurai. I think just because I'm kind of steering away from like the big, like I put in a couple Hitchcock movies because I like Hitchcock, but I didn't do Psycho.
Oh, okay, yeah.
We could though. I mean, I'm not opposed to it, but I just didn't want to do like, the big ones. I did some Stanley Kubrick movies, but I didn't do 2001 or Clockwork Orange or something like that.
Right.
Th-
Yeah,
that's
throw
weird.
Barry Lyndon on there because I've never seen Barry Lyndon.
That's
and
on
I
there.
want to see that. Okay.
That was the first. That was the first one I did because that's the only one of his that
Mr. Bean over there.
I was doing more like a politician, like Howard Dean.
or Bill Clinton does that too.
Yeah.
I will do this. I will do this. I will do them both together.
See, the funny thing is I would say maybe 2001, but Clockwork Orange is not really like. That's like down the list of Kubrick movies. I think that like.
I mean,
recognizability.
sure. Well, no, I
Because,
mean
like,
2001.
No, I said not that one.
Oh, not that one. Okay.
Yeah, I think that the first one's
Full
that
Metal
come to mind.
Jacket.
Yeah, it's Shining, Full Metal Jacket, 2001. Those are like the big ones.
I don't know if I put Shining on there either, and that's my favorite movie of his.
As being the most like well known.
Well, I'm just saying like I might not have because I also just didn't want to put all of my favorite movies in the cup. There's movies that I've seen before for sure, but I tried to do a lot of movies I haven't seen. What?
No, yeah. The way you said it made it sound like you've never seen movies before.
Oh.
Oh, I think all the ones that I suggested to you are like my favorite movie.
Oh, I mean that's okay. I definitely threw some of mine in. So
yeah.
See, I don't think like you said like Psycho with Alfred Hitchcock, and like the difference between that and like Seven Samurai is like I don't think that Psycho is his best movie. Like,
well, sure, it's not my favorite. No, it's not my favorite Hitchcock movie.
I don't think it's his best, but like Seven Samurai is his best movie. I think that's where I draw it. They're both like the biggest name, but like at least with Seven Samurai, it's
maybe okay. I'll throw Seven Samurai in there. Maybe
It's so fucking good.
Plus, I want to show it to Kelly.
Seven Samurai. Has she never seen it? Wow. Damn.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind having an excuse to watch it because I also haven't seen it.
It is. Well, it's a contender for my favorite movie ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have like a rough like top 10 on my Letterboxd. I flip flop between like my like go to phrase is like whichever movie in my top 10 I've seen the most recently, that's my favorite movie.
Yeah, I was actually just gonna say like maybe if we watch Seven Samurai, like I'll have to watch La La Land at the same time and see which one.
Yeah,
one gets me the most. The only thing about Seven Samurai that I cannot fucking stand is like this isn't spoilers or anything, but like it like back in the day, like right when they start, this era, when they started like when they would record like women's screams.
I had a feeling that's what you were gonna say.
Bad.
Yeah, the audio.
On just like
peaks.
The rest of it's fine.
It's
fine, and it's like it peaks, but it distorts so like terribly. I wish they would just like ADR that. Like I don't even care if it would stand out like clearly.
The Man
just,
from
like,
Earth.
Yeah, like a chick in somebody like people in like a closet someplace just screaming like that, and it's like so obvious. That,
yeah.
I had a feeling that's what you were gonna say.
But it doesn't happen that often in that. But yeah, it's really bad.
Yeah.
All right, so Seven Samurai for next weekend.
Ikiru. I'm excited to
and then
to get back to that. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna throw some of those ones in there too.
I'll go look through my movies and see if I can throw some more in there that are maybe curveballs. Like I threw Logan Lucky in there.
I just watched that. That's a great movie.
I guess this is me verbal. I'll verbally say it, but I'll message you later. The Art of Self-Defense. I'm for.
Okay.
Because I saw that in theaters and it's such an oddball movie that like I feel like no one saw and talked. Same with Logan Lucky. That was like a movie that I don't think anyone saw or talked about, and I thought it was so good and so funny.
Yeah, I really like The Art of Self-Defense.
Really? I thought it was like...
Okay. And Logan Lucky. I think Logan Lucky is pretty good too.
It was fine.
Oh.
It was fine. It was fine. There's something that, like memorable. I guess when I tried to pick like when I tried to pick movies, I was trying to pick movies that like I hadn't seen and I didn't think like anybody else had seen. So maybe I'll.
I'm doing that too. I'm doing those too. I'm trying to do a mix.
I don't think I added any movies that I have seen, but I could be wrong.
And so far, I think the only movie we've done that I have seen before was House of Flying Daggers, and that was when it came out. So yeah, I think most of what I've done are ones that I haven't seen or that are a little more obscure.
I'm super excited that for like however many, is this our
sixth, I think.
Sixth. So after 6, we finally get to watch a good movie. I'm super excited.
Finally, some good fucking food. Yeah.
I thought we were doing one bad movie a month. But we've done 6.
Oh, speaking of, that'll be the week after. That's our bad movie. Yeah, I was gonna say I was kind of. Oh wait, he's talking to Chef.
He's talking to somebody.
Yeah.
I almost like said that when I was rating The Man from Earth, that like all of the movies have kind of been like 7s or 8s for me. They've all been like right around the same spot. I gave I think the highest one I rated was Hard Day's Night, but that was definitely because I just like the Beatles, you know. Like I said that kind of influenced. I think otherwise I said I would have done like a 7, but hey, you know, it was the Beatles, so I bumped up. So yeah, I'm like I was also kind of like jonesing for like, okay, I want a 9. Like I want a solid 8 or 9 on here. Come on. And as long as, you know, it holds up and I don't realize, wait, this movie actually sucks, then that's where Akira's going to land for me, probably.
I kind of feel after rewatching this, I'm not going to like it quite as much.
Mm-hmm.
I do remember it seemed like maybe it's a little bit, maybe it's just because I'm comparing it to his other stuff, but it does seem like it's maybe a little bit slower.
Oh, it definitely is. It's I mean, it's
like
not
almost borderline too slow. But
well, it's another one that I don't remember much. I remember more of it than I do House of Flying Daggers. But yeah, I'm interested to see what my retake is on it.
Something that just came to me is that it's the most like it's like borderline Studio Ghibli.
Slow.
No, just like the whole thing. Like it's just like even like the plot to some extent, but like
yeah,
when you look at the poster or whatever, yeah, the poster is just like him on a swing. Like it seems like it could be.
It's like whimsical or like carefree.
Yeah, cute old man on a swing, and then there's like, well, some of them show rain, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So that's it for this week. Yeah, we'll come up. This is like one of the more. This is probably the messiest one after our first one. So I'm not too concerned about.
I landed a plane. This was super.
You hid the vodka bottles in the trash and everything.
Yeah. I drank the vodka.
But we'll try. Yeah, again, we'll try to be more former when we're doing it for real. But this time, yeah, we're just we're done. We're done now. So we're gonna do some.
Did you just say more former?
More formerly, yeah.
It sounded like you said more
formal. I did say more former. I meant formal.
Okay. I figured, but I was like, is that what he meant? What are you talking about?